I want and need.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Challenger Series number 2 Grand Finals Best of 5. I am Spuddington and I am joined by Broken Shot today.
Hi, Spuddington. How are you, man?
Pretty good. We are going to be heading into this game. I believe Peculiar Gaming took the last game, so they are now 2-1 up in this final, and it looks like ESC are going to be going right in for the jugular of the picks that were really defining the previous game. Diana Elise have been banned out by ESC, and Renekton Rumble by Peculiar Gaming.
I'd expect to see the Elise ban. We saw Amazing, even though we heard a little bit about how he wasn't very favoring on that Elise jungler, and I believe he was only practicing it for about 2-3 days now. He was still quite skilled on it, and that shows because we saw him with his incredible Lee Sin play. Maybe he'll return back to that Lee Sin and shake us up for this final. Well, actually, it's Game 4. ESC still have a chance to come back, but it's just one more win and PG take it all.
Yeah, it's an impressive situation for them. They are obviously looking for that win here, and ESC have this first pick here. They're kind of hovering over it, not really sure what they want to go for here. I think they might actually be aware, as you said, of that Amazing who has that Lee Sin, does extremely well on that champion. We're just going to be ticking down the time at the moment though.
His Lee is amazing. Pun totally intended. We saw him, he was just able to be a huge pressure on the map. He went for the Madrids and then for the Sightstone, and he was putting a lot of wards down in the map. So a lot of the good vision that was able to just jump over walls and catch people off guard. So we saw a lot of skirmishes happening in the jungle. So if he does manage to get his hands on that Lee Sin, you might expect Peculiar Gaming to go for some heavy mobility champions for some quick skirmishes in the early mid game to try to close the game out within the first 20-25 minutes.
Yeah, that would actually fit pretty well. ESC have locked in Kha'Zix, that being the first pick. He is actually D-Man's favorite, I believe.
Yeah.
Certainly an extremely powerful champion, and in
We
the
saw-
right hands, he's devastating.
We saw him run that Yongwoo's Ghostblade Kha'Zix in the other games before to some very, very good results from that play. Ended up completely winning a game out just by picking up 2 kills, and then the Nash snowballing it from there. So definitely the D-Man Kha'Zix is something to watch out for. But however, instantly we see Amazing hovering over that Lee Sin of his, and we see Zed has been let through the cracks. So JWoww probably going to be on that Zed. One of his more favorite champions. We were talking about how JWoww was better off as an assassin player. He loves those assassins, Kha'Zix, Diana, and Zed. And Diana Kha'Zix not there. Zed's open. So we have again, a pretty good mobility-ish type comp. We have Zed Lee Sin, able to jump over walls, skirmish in the jungle as early as level 6. So that's really going to be good for Peculiar Gaming's hyper-aggressive early game comp.
Yeah, that's a really good setup they have going on there. And it was actually against a British Tea Time there that D-Man carried him with that Kha'Zix. But it's an interesting thing to note, he also carried against British Tea Time with that Kayle. And last game, he actually got camped extremely hard in that mid lane and just ended up, honestly, feeding Anivia, which was a really bad status for him to be in. Obviously, put him in a very unfortunate situation when he was then trying to make the plays happen. I think he only ever really got 2, maybe 3 items done in quite a long game. But anyway, the next 2 picks have been Volibear and Zyra from ESC.
So I think this is going to be a Zyra support. Not many people are using Zyra mid, but the Volibear pick is something I really like because they're going for a hyper-aggressive type of strategy from Lee Sin. They want someone tanky, someone who scales quite well in the game. So if Volibear can avoid Lee Sin or catch him off, say Lee Sin goes for an all-in engage and Volibear manages to fling him back into the turret, Lee Sin will be in a very bad position. So I like the counter gank strategy. We see that there's a lot of disengage, especially in the early game, from the Zyra and the Volibear picks. So it looks like they're trying to stem onto this defensive early game and look for a mid-game team fight, especially since the AoE from Volibear and Zyra, especially with the CC, is going to allow Kha'Zix to just jump around and get resets.
Yeah, that's potentially very, very hazardous, and obviously both sides picking up quite a lot of disengage here. Lulu has been locked in by PG, and both supports actually acting in quite a similar manner in terms of how they perform in that kind of mid-game team fight role.
I really like the Lulu Ashe pick here because we saw Hammer use Ashe the other day. I believe it was either in day 1 or day 2. He was using Ashe with a very, very powerful type of engage. And what I like here is that they're going to use Ashe to try to pick up long-range kills. We see him hovering over Lissandra there. Not
That's
sure
not
if
actually
you know
allowed.
that Lissandra is banned, however. Lissandra, you know, new champion. Not many people know how to play her. She was actually released in the middle of our Challenger series, so of course we're going to let it be banned this time. So Heimer as well being picked up. Not sure what's going on here. Those are probably troll picks trying to make us feel a little bit, you know, weirded out. And a Kale pickup, it looks like. I'm not sure. I'm a bit delayed, so you're gonna have to tell me if they locked it in.
Yeah, it's they are still hovering over that Kale there, and Ezreal Kale has been locked in there, so I'm a little bit surprised about that myself. Looks like it's going to be a Kha'Zix top lane, and then we'll have that Kale be mid. D-Man obviously not done with his Kale yet.
That's a little bit strange. I mean, I would expect if Kha'Zix was left open for ESC, it would go on D-Man. However, I think that Koi pretty much told his team, like, okay, guys, it's probably going to be a Zed top, and I feel most comfortable going up against him with Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix versus Zed matchup is actually quite good. Kha'Zix, once he gets level 6, is going to be able to shove that lane out. They're both pretty good because they can sit in their lane and farm, and both have pretty much insane burst damage. And one thing that Kha'Zix has an advantage over in the matchup is that if the Zed tries to ult the Kha'Zix, Kha'Zix can just invisible out and then try to juke up his spells, so Zed will potentially miss a lot of his death marks damage.
Yeah, it's a very much a skill matchup there, and actually hovering over Syndra here. Are we going to be seeing that? It is
I wouldn't be surprised.
Actually locked in. Yes, Syndra could be a placeholder pick, and I hope you can't hear my dog.
I can.
Well, I'm just going to fall silent for a second there. Carry on.
Cute dog sputting. Anyway, I really like the Syndra pickup because there's a lot of burst damage coming in from Team PG right now. If they get caught by an Ashe arrow or by a Syndra stun, then all hell breaks loose. They've got the Zed burst, the Lee burst, the Ashe stun. Ashe has actually a really nice crit, but I'd be more afraid of ESC's combo because if Volibear can go in with that Kale ult, he's just going to be sitting in the middle of that team. And more importantly, if Kha'Zix goes in with that Kale ult, there's going to be a lot of damage coming in from that scary little cockroach over there. 30 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, we have got not very much longer to go. So unless you have anything massively in your chest right now that you have to get off, I think we'll move into a commercial break just
I love you,
now.
Spuddington.
Oh, okay, so we'll be moving into a commercial break as fast as is humanly possible now, and I will see you later.
I got intro. Hey guys, welcome back to game number 4 of ESC versus Peculiar Gaming. It is a best of 5 for the Challenger Series. Winner picks up $400 US, the fame, and the women, and we got a great pause coming in the beginning of the game. I'm Broken Shard, former DB player. I'm joined here by the lovely and charming Spuddington. Say hi, Spuddy.
Hello.
And what a great game we have for you today. 2-1, Peculiar Gaming, showing some pretty intense power, especially with their picks right now. They seem to be falling onto their more comfortable picks. What do you have to say about the picks and bans this game? You think that we see that ESC also kind of have their comfortable picks, and D-Man is actually going to be on that Kha'Zix and Koi on the Kayle, so what say you about that?
So it's looking like they're actually going to be putting that Kayle top lane, unless I'm very much mistaken, which would actually probably work fairly well against Zed, at least in the early game. They'll bully that lane around because Zed will not have the damage to just trade with that constant auto-attack harass from Kayle, but that is obviously then going to push the lane, and that is a very, very dangerous thing when you have Amazing on that Lee Sin. But yeah, actually both teams do mostly have the champions they want. I know Brokey does love his Ezreal. I know D-Man loves his Kha'Zix. Don't really know about Karazo and Volibear, but you know, Koi on that Kayle. Haven't seen that before either. But JWoww on that Zed. Although we have got a Syndra pick, which I am personally in favor of.
Well,
I like Syndra.
Well, yeah, Syndra's a great champion, but about the Volibear pick, I mean, Volibear just seems to be such a standard pick ever since Diamond Proc stole the idea from jungler from AT. Actually, Broto was the very first person to actually use Volibear in the jungle in several solo queue games. I was just joking about the steal, but Volibear, you know, he's been around for some time. A solo queue player called Action actually plays him in top lane almost exclusively. I feel that Volibear is a champion that all junglers should possibly be able to fall back onto. I mean, he just seems like such a strong meta pick at the moment, even after the nerf. Same with Nasus.
Yeah, he's just a really, really solid all-arounder at the moment. And I will actually say, Volibear jungle was kind of a thing for quite a long time before it became the meta to do it all the time. I remember even running into some Volibear jungles in Season 2. Obviously, it became stronger with the health stacking meta, and obviously other things besides. But Volibear at the moment, you know, he kind of had a slow rise to power. It wasn't just like he was literally never seen ever at all, and then suddenly next day pro player picks him, and then everyone's playing him. But you know, obviously strong all around. And Syndra, because I want to talk about Syndra because I like Syndra.
All right.
Yeah,
Tell me about Syndra.
You don't see a lot of her, but I think people are seriously underestimating just how powerful she is in that setup when she's got a decent number of levels on her, because she has the capacity to stun you from, I don't know what the exact range is, but it's a vastly longer range than I ever think people expect. I mean, that E, locking back the ball, goes for, it's got to be longer than any of the rest of her abilities.
Well, the thing about Syndra, and I like the fact that Syndra's in this comp because the Syndra has an opportunity to have a quite medium to long range stun. So there's a lot of follow-up coming in if the Ash Arrow comes down, and of course the burst damage from Syndra. The thing is that I don't feel that pro players are underestimating Syndra like you say. It's just that they favor other champions like Ahri, Kayle, or Yana over Syndra, because Syndra is actually quite easy to gank if you use your abilities offensively. You need to save that W and E defensively, and she kind of takes a while to ramp up. Syndra is very, very favorable in outplaying people. If you're a higher skilled AP mid, say as Bjergsen does it in the LCS, you'll have quite an easy time outplaying people with the combination of ball combos like the Q, W, and E combo plus an R. However, her ultimate is actually heavily countered by Hourglass, which is quite a common AP pick. We see Koi coming into the jungle here with Zyra. It looks like they're just probably going to get a ward down. Yeah, that is a vision ward coming down there. Sorry, sight ward. However, Amazing and Hammer moving in towards the blue side. Looks like a potential 2v1 swap. Phelox picks up the ward, and they're sitting comfortably at this blue buff, ever so silently, awaiting someone to face check.
Yeah, Amazing is at that blue buff, and it does look like they might catch Ryman Simon here. He is moving towards it, and they do have that burst from the Ash crit. It is looking like it's going to happen. Amazing is ready. He has taken the Q. They're going to be putting this burst down. All that burst coming out so quickly.
Holy
indeed.
cow.
Yeah, that's the power of Ash in a level 1 fight.
Wow, that Ash W plus crit just took her down to half HP, and then Amazing showcasing his I'm pretty sure Amazing called for that. He is a good shot caller. He called for that. He knew exactly how much damage they could do. However, I feel that if any other champion walked into that, they wouldn't have gotten burst. And now he's gonna have a quite hard time soloing this Wraith camp with just his Q. Normally you'll be able to do with E, Q, not so much though.
Yeah, obviously that Q being that single target ability, it's not going to be great for him. Not even going to be using it for that attack speed. Oh, there we go. But he does manage to take it out. Lee Sin obviously being an extremely sustained jungler, and he is going to get a fair bit of help here from Lulu, who is down only to half mana already, but you know, amazing. I think he's just planning on using Smite for this. Yeah, there we go. So obviously not going for that very fast level 3, and probably going to be looking for a more sustained clear than is normal.
Well, I think he's going to want to back. He did pick up that 400 gold first blood, and gold in your... Pick up that first blood, he's going to have a quite advantage over Volibear. However, gold in your inventory is gold not used, and we see Caruso kind of coming in for this gank. He does have a smite, and Amazing is aware of this. Caruso needs to be super careful. Amazing sneaking up. He gets revealed. The Tempest. Caruso taking down very low. Amazing huge damage out there. They're going to get combined, jumped on by the Zed. Grulum and first... Wow. That damage is insane from Zed. That's really, really good coordination from Peculiar Gaming.
Yeah,
very bad for ESC right there. Losing the red buff on the Volibear.
Yeah, that's going to be very nasty for them. And actually, D-Man in that mid lane, meanwhile, went extremely low. He went down to maybe 100 health and nearly died of it. But he managed to sustain himself back up, so he'll be alright with that. And in the end, we have got JWoww now. In that bottom lane, he has got red buff. That might actually make him a lot more dangerous to Koi. He is going to be able to close those gaps. And if he does close that gap, he is potentially going to be able to get aggressive. Not going to go for it, though.
Koi does have his ranged poke from his E. He's going to be able to auto-push that lane. That Q plus E burst. He's actually doing quite a nice amount of damage. JWoww does not have a ward, so if Volibear, you know, even though he's only still level 2, he's kind of pacing himself back and forth. Amazing. We talked about how great his Lee Sin was. That ward is still there, so he knows that this blue is up. Will he go for an aggressive jump on that? D-Man is being pushed to tower, so now would be a good time, if ever, to go for that blue buff. And there he goes.
Oh boy, Carazo is going to come in around this corner here.
But he knows
Amazing is going to have to back out. Yeah, that ward does reveal it, so he's all good to go. But he isn't done with this yet. Carazo is only level 2, so he can't really afford to tank it either. And we've actually got the smite going down. Does actually get picked up by Carazo, and Amazing is now very low. Flash, flip goes down, and Bear picks up that kill. Amazing has gone down, and now they're going to be following this up onto Hummer, who is going to be trying to run away. Carazo does not have his charge quite yet, and now Lulu is running for her little life, but he's going to get away with it. And Grulum did roam towards them, but isn't going to get anywhere with that.
That's a great pickup for Caruso. They're picking up a fresh double buff off Amazing. A little bit of a ballsy play for Amazing, however, he was trying to get out of there. He knew that it was not going to happen for himself. Amazing, definitely showing that he's got the cojones to make big plays.
Sorry, I was just noticing D-Man was having a battle to the death with Wraiths. He went down extremely low. I'm a little bit surprised that he went for that at all, actually. But he is potentially in a position where just one flash QE would kill him. He's certainly going to be losing out a lot of farm here, and we've actually got him going very low in that bottom lane. He's just getting poked down by Brokey with those excellent Mystic shots, and meanwhile Zed at bottom going all in on Koi, who's gone very, very low. JWoww actually does get taken out.
No way.
Koi survived with the tiniest of slivers of tiny amounts of health.
The place from Koi, what an incredible... You know, very rarely do we see JWoww getting outplayed like that. He's definitely on a champion that's so comfortable like that. Zed, it's just unreal to see him get outplayed like that. It's just not something I'm used to seeing. Yeah,
and at top now, Phylok's actually getting caught out there with that Grasping Roots, then taking an Ezreal Q to the face. They have got that ward which has spotted out Amazing. Puts down a ward and then wanders off, possibly to go towards mid. I expect he'll just clear the Wraith for now, though.
Yeah, this top lane, sorry, duo lane from ESC is something I really like. The combination of the pick up from the Zyra and good amount of burst from Ezreal's combo is going to be quite deadly for an Ashe who, if you get caught like that, she's not running Cleanse, she's only running Flash and Escape, which actually did get burnt by Caruso earlier. Speaking of the Volibear, we see him sneaking into this bot lane. Zed probably doesn't know about it, or does he? No, he probably doesn't.
It does look like he's going to be going for it. The charge is available. He's going in now. Now it's just going to be JWoww, though, getting on out of there. And that's always the difficulty with ganking a Zed.
Yeah, Zed actually did get changed. His E no longer reduces the cooldown of his jump, but Amazing is actually in the bot lane. Caruso sticking around still. the Shadow is actually going to be right back up, so JWoww should not be fearing anything. Koi is level 6 though, so a lot of the damage, or Koi is going aggressive on him, but here comes the jump. Koi going to take and go very low, but here comes the counter gank.
Yeah, JWoww actually going very, very low there. Caruso actually getting that execute off, and it looks like they're going to be following this up. It does look like that charge is going to be available in only 2 seconds. They have got the speed up as well, but amazing. Obviously, having to blow that extra little ward there is going to get out more or less scot-free as a result.
I really like this. Caruso, he was behind early game. When you die that early as a Volibear, it's definitely going to be detrimental. And
apologies, we actually have Ignites going down in mid. Grulum going for that flash. Alt Q combo, but not quite able to land the Q. The dodge from D-Man goes down, but both have used their Ignites. Kaostv still has his ult available, though.
That was actually very, very aggressive play from Grulum. However, he's also quite low HP, so Caruso, now he knows that this flash is down. He's probably saying
apologies
that
at top. Now we have Brokey going aggressive. He has been squirreled. He is getting exhausted too, and Hummer is actually just cutting slightly out of range of Ryman Simon's exhaust, which he doesn't actually have. So doesn't matter, but we are going to be seeing just that little bit of backing off. Both are alive and not going to be going down, but it could explode at any second, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on that. Carry on with your point, but I will interrupt you if something happens.
What I really like from there is Hammer's calm, collective movements in that fight. I mean, he knew that the exhaust was going to go down. There's definitely good synergy between Phylox and Hammer there. Both of them definitely high-quality players. Hammer did play for Millennium in Season 1 against...
oh, he actually got the
arrow.
Ryman Simon going very, very low. He has actually been able to get out and that flash. Hummer now getting quite overcommitted. He has popped his barrier, but he is probably going to go down to Brokey here. Does get that auto-attack kill, and Phylox now having to chase... Oh, he dodges it in the slowest Duke known to mankind, but we have got Grulum and Amazing converging here. They are both coming in. Brokey has no mana at all. He has no capacity to dodge. He has flashed that out, but he is going to get slowed, then he's going to get stunned, following that up with the full combo apart from the ult. Don't even need to blow that, but we actually got Phylox going very, very low, and they are going to pick up that kill in the end.
Amazing almost panicked there. I bet you can almost sense the panic when he's like, crap, Phylox, no! Just go straight for that W. Brokey, I feel, could have actually picked up that kill if he had just auto-hit, flash, and Q. There would have been so much better, so much easier. Even if he just flashed to ultimate, would have been a lot better since, again, we talked about it, just the slowest juke known to man. Very, very easy for Phylox to juke that, and good job by PG picking up another kill. Kills are now tied. However, the gold lead is actually still convincingly in Clear Gaming's favor. 1,000 gold towards them. Amazing 1-1 and 2. Caruso 2-1. Oh, I'm yet to see Caruso make a play on this mid lane. Like we talked about it. The flash is down from Syndra, and when Syndra doesn't have flash, there's not much she can do if a Volibear is running at you, and she has her E on cooldown. So, blue buff now going to Syndra. That's a very, very important buff because her cooldowns go down. Caruso, he's still trying to make something happen. I think they just feel the pressure of how strong JWoww can be on his most favorite champion, Zed, right there.
Yeah, so it looks like they're just going to be shoving that wave into the tower. Caruso will be waiting for Zed to want to clear that out, and it actually looks like they're going to be going under the tower here. JWoww has used his Living Shadow. He is going to just ult onto Caruso, who is just not going to take any damage, of course, but JWoww tries to turn it around, does not quite have enough damage, and that is going to work out in the favor of ESC.
Yeah, very good pressure from Caruso in this bot lane. They're definitely looking to shut down JWoww, and I bet JWoww is now fuming, saying, oh my god, why do they camp me?
Well, it's certainly not much fun to be camped, but in so doing, you do draw a lot of attention away. But we actually have Amazing going in. He has gone on the ult. He has landed that E as well, but not going to get the Q, just slightly out of range. But he is going to carry on chasing this on to Caruso, who is now going very low as well. The heal goes down, which is going to put some extra speed on him, but he does still have that E. He does still have that W. He is going to be actually getting turned around on in return, though. He has blown his escape to get in close, and that cost him dearly.
Very aggressive play from Amazing. What a beautiful flash kick into the wall, but just way.
Oh, actually, sorry, Grulum going very, very low, has popped the ult, but the tower shot takes him down. It's a 1-for-1 trade.
This is just like last night. I mean, it's not your fault, but it's like every time I talk, something happens on the map.
I know, it's a terrible, terrible situation, but I will be just feel free to just kind of suspend your point. Just stop saying anything at all when I start talking, and then we will actually have Brokey going very aggressive on him. And then you could just carry on almost as if nothing had ever happened. So Hummer getting attacked there by Brokey, yeah, so getting a little bit of a lull in the action now.
Yeah, normally Amazing would be playing phenomenally on Lee Sin. It is one of his best champions, and we've seen that. However, I think the pressure is on him. Generally, when you make a play and then it just gets completely shot back in your face, like when you got that blue and ended up dying for it, you feel like you need to prove yourself yet again. I need to make another big play to show that I'm not bad, and he tried that again, and it blew up in his face. Amazing is a very skilled and experienced jungler, and even to the most
sorry, we actually got the grasping roots going down. They are potentially going all in here. We have got the stranglefolds going down on top of it. Ice Arrow comes out. Brokey has been stunned, but now they aren't looking to turn this around because Amazing is here, and it is going to just knock him back. And actually, the knock up there potentially screwing over the team there from PG, but Brokey is going to go down in the end. And we have potentially now got that kill on Ryman Simon. They are going under the tower, and yeah, easy pick up there. But Caruso actually going to flash him back under the tower. Doesn't quite down. He does have the damage, and he's actually going to keep going. This is an unstoppable bear. He's going to get that kill on Ash, and he's going to follow this up. Phylox is still very slow, but that flash is going to be saving his life.
The big bear making the big plays. Just I was about to say, Amazing did a very phenomenal move there, picking up 2. Caruso comes back and just shuts me up. That Volibear is one fed monster, and he's not going to be looking for some picnic baskets. He's looking for blood this time. Maxing his W, he's got huge burst damage. Hammer, you know, he had both his summoners up. There was no reason that he should have died in that situation there. However, I guess he just misinterpreted the frenzy range, ended up getting eaten for breakfast.
Yeah, that's a nasty thing that can actually happen at times. It's I think it's a little bit longer than his auto attack range. I'm not 100% certain on that.
Slight range over his auto attack.
Yeah, that's obviously going to cause a problem, but we are seeing ESC going for this dragon now, and well, Amazing is potentially in position, and JWoww might come in, but they are just going to pick this up, I think, for free. Amazing not going to try and go for that.
Good Drake pickup from ESC, and, you know, ESC putting some dominating performance this game. It's now 2-1 towards Peculiar, so ESC are just one game away from losing. If they pick up a win here, they'll bring up to, I guess, the first full-on 5-game best-of-5 in this series, which is very exciting. I mean, we talked about how exciting the games ESC brought up for us. They were making them very close and turning around very games that me and you thought were pretty much over. ESC having a very strong performance this game, and definitely do not regret inviting them to this tournament.
Yeah, they've done a really good job, and we actually got Caruso getting aggressive. He is a cupcake, but that's not going to be too much of a problem. He's going to be going on to Hummer, who has been ulted. He is just too tanky to take down, though, and his passive is available, so actually not available, so he's not going to be too bothered. He is actually going to get ulted by Kale to keep him alive when Amazing goes in, but he is going to be sacrificing the life of Kale in response to keeping his own life alive. And though Koi is worth a little bit more gold, it looks like Grillum and Amazing are going to keep chasing this up. I don't think they can catch the bear, though. He's a bit fast, and we have got Kha'Zix coming in from the side. He might look to burst down Grillum very quickly. Does actually get stunned out and doesn't actually have the damage. Does get ulted in return. The Ignite is still ticking, and Caruso now going back in again. He is D-Man alive, but the bear goes down. Tried to help his team and was quite badly punished for it.
That's the Amazing, but that I know, and with the Amazing that we all loved watching. Did you see just how quick the motion is? He landed that Q, and even before the damage registered in his head, he was already prepped to ward back and kick Caruso back if the damage was not enough. However, Grulum almost picks up D-Man. D-Man super low, but he's going to get chased down by Amazing. He's going to run into the loving arms of his team. Amazing definitely does not want to run into a situation where he ends up dying chasing a kill.
Yeah, they're trying to bait this out. D-Man, they know he's in there, but they can't actually see him around that corner. He is actually going to possibly go for this. He's going to jump on Grillum's face.
Oh my god, Amazing!
Not enough damage. The Seekers aren't going to keep him alive. Brokey picks that off, and he is actually now going to chase this down. He's got that blue buff available. Amazing is going to have to run away from this. He isn't going to go down, though. He's just a little bit too tanky. Brokey going to pursue this quite a long way, though. Does he have his ultimate available? Yes, he does. He's going to go for the snipe, but it's not going to hit.
Oh my goodness. Amazing picks up the kill with his Q. Grulum barely almost survives it, but JWoww win on Brokey. The flash fails, and the shadow fails, and Brokey ends up getting away from there, burning his flash for that. Definitely worth it in my eyes. Do not want to feed JWoww. He is having a very poor game, 1-3-1. He was getting camped quite hard, and the pause comes out. 10-10. 1,000 gold lead, almost 1,000 gold lead for Peculiar Gaming. The game is close as nails right now.
Yeah, it's a really close game at the moment. Very close to getting that. But we have got that small DC, so I'm just going to jump to live again because that does, as ever, mess up the replay system. And now we are back up to speed. And now we have Koi has been shoving down that top tower, has almost taken it out, and isn't looking like he's going to back out from this JWoww here. We have got Lulu coming up, and Koi doesn't really have any vision, so he might get caught out here. I am going to keep an eye on this. It does look like he's going to back out just about the right time, though. Clear that last wave and back on out.
Yeah, amazing. He's 4-3 and 4. I'm not used to seeing him with many deaths. However, Ezreal picking up a Bilgewater Cutlass. Probably going
actually,
to
in
look
mid,
for
Hummer going very, very low. We have got the Bear and the D-Man on top of him, but he's actually just going to get blown up by Grulum, and Hummer still alive. The ultimate from Syndra doing so much damage and actually managing to pick it up. And actually, sorry, in top we have now got Koi going aggressive on JWoww, who is going to keep running away from this. He has flashed out. Reckoning goes down. Auto attack goes down. That is a dead Zed.
that play from Grulum. Just incredible calmness again from Hammer. We were talking about how good of a calm player he is. He knows exactly what he needs to do at any situation. However, amazing. Coming in from behind, gets juked out, but the Ezreal ends up having to flash away. Q ends up landing on Brokey, but he will not further this relationship between them. Ezreal says, I'm not interested, and Lee Sin runs off depressed.
Yeah, it's looking like they're going to pressure this middle tower, though. Zyra, obviously using that Grasping Roots, is going to have a little bit of difficulty. I think this amazing going around the side is actually going to go for that blue buff. So pressuring the tower, but it doesn't look like they actually want to take it. Bear is going to be showing up, though. Caruso is actually available. He has used that ultimate to keep himself alive there. Amazing. Just about okay here. He is actually in a possibly baiting Phylon to death, though, and Grulum is going to be coming in, trying to turn this around. He has got that slow, has got that stun, has got that knockback. A lot of CC coming out from Syndra, but amazing, has been caught out. Buddy is going to just jump over the wall to the Golem, smoothly as you like, and
that was kind of funny.
There.
He's like, Phelox, I love you, but I gotta go. I gotta go, man. Phelox, no! When in doubt, kick a bear in the face. Phelox ended up having to flash, however, looks like Peculiar Gamer are going to forfeit this mid turret down to ESC, who have grouped up and are taking it. Meanwhile, however, Hammer in the bot lane most likely will pick this up, and he does have a Blade of the Ruined King and the Avarice Blade, so next item is probably going to be that Static Shiv that actually Genja likes to build the Avarice Blade very early. So Ashe is going to be dealing good consistent damage. They don't need burst. They've got burst coming in from Zed, from the Lee Sin, and from the Syndra. I guess that Hammer is definitely building to benefit his team more. He's building more consistent DPS, which I think is what Peculiar Gaming are really missing in their team fights.
Yeah, and that Ashe arrow just going up that mid lane there. He was clearly expecting a fight, but that cooldown is now gone, and it is going to be a pressure situation. We've got D-Man out of that bottom lane, and it looks like Caruso wants this. Oh, they're keeping their tower alive by having Bear and Kale and Zyra plants just tank it out. Tank out the creep waves, that is. Can they make anything happen here? It is looking like Amazing is just going to back out. They have got the pink ward here, and presumably they have the dragon timer as well. Amazing just hanging over that corner. Yes, there we go. It has popped up. Ryman Simon is coming over. Amazing possibly looking to get an attack over the wall. Koi has to be careful here. Syndra could instantly burst him as long as he gets that stun down before the ultimate is reacted to. We are potentially seeing this fight coming in, but it's just pussyfooting around right now, and they are just playing it careful. They are starting this dragon here, and now we have D-Man going for it. Doing a lot of damage out here, and it's just going to go down before anyone can react, but we have now got Caruso getting kicked back into his team. Koi going very, very low. Has not yet blown his ultimate, though. He has now. Zed went in to go for it, but Brokey was the one who was the target of the death mark, and Amazing is going to take out Koi on the side there. And we have, meanwhile, got Caruso just being taken down. Not going taken down, but completely going low against Grulum, but not able to actually get the is able to get the kill in the end, but both of them end up dead in the result. Oh, the ice arrow just missing out D-Man there, and it looks like both teams are just they came out with a 4 for 1, so the goal difference must be actually very, very close between the two teams. And D-Man actually going aggressive on Amazing, but not going to be getting anywhere with it.
So D-Man probably needs to go change his pants after that arrow barely hit him. But phenomenal play from Amazing, kicking Volibear right back into the pit where he belongs with the rest of his team. And from there, it just went downhill for Peculiar Gaming. They had a fight or flight type of thing, and they wanted to run away, but they just had nowhere to run. They don't have much AoE on Peculiar Gaming, however, they were just able to pick up as much damage. Grulum ulted a priority target and then went back and soloed the Volibear. Ended up actually dying to him. But Zed picking up kills and assists. Zed is actually considerably farmed right now. D-Man 1-3-3. This is not something that we're used to seeing very here, Spuddington. I'm used to seeing D-Man, Yomu's Ghostblade in hand, going up maybe 10 kills by this time.
Yeah, but it looks like he's not been having a great game, much as Zed. And I think probably the biggest difference in this team right now is if you compare Ashe to Ezreal. Look at the goal difference. Like, how big of a difference actually is that between the two of them?
Well, the dragon for the 3 kills, actually I believe went in Peculiar Gaming's favor. There was someone who did some math that if you take Drake and you lose 3 kills, then I guess it's an even trade. However, I always make the point that gold concentrated is always better than gold spread out. So some of the carries, Amazing, who was actually behind early, is now on 6 kills, picked up 2 kills in that last team fight, is considerably tankier, considerably more useful than the Volibear. I mean, Volibear has 6 kills as well, but he has the Bulwark, he has the Brutalizer, he has a Sightstone giving them good vision. Hammer, picking up assists and kills is always good, has a static shift now. And more importantly, the Zed picks up kills and assists, which was what he desperately needs to come back into the game.
Yeah, and looking at the specific case, each individual character, like, the difference between Ashe and Ezreal right now, like, there is a very big gold difference between them, certainly. 8,700 to 6,500. So, like, what's your opinion? How much more of a threat is Hammer than Brokey right now?
Well, the problem is that Brokey just hasn't farmed for the past maybe 5 minutes. He's been grouping up with his team and pushing objectives. And while that isn't necessarily a bad thing, I mean, Ryman Simon is getting caught out. Pause comes out, probably a DC, but as well, the Ezreal just hasn't been farming. Ashe has been giving her time to farm on split pushing lanes, coming into the fights when they need it. Looks like Ryman Simon did get DC'd, so Amazing does have his Q locked onto that target. Will it be a mercy kill?
It depends whether they are... I don't think they are actually obliged to let him live here. But if they are honorable, they may choose to do so. It does look like they're just going to let him go.
Good guys, Peculiar Gaming.
Yeah, obviously, it's not ideal if you get DC'd and obviously just died. But in the end, not going to be costing them too much. ESC obviously are quite happy to continue onwards. And Grulum is looking for this stun here. Does not quite hit Brokey, though.
Looks like Peculiar Gamer coming in for a bit of a pokey type of start. However, they just cannot outpoke the Zyra, the Ezreal, the Kayle, and the Kha'Zix. They have to be very careful they don't get caught out, because if they do get caught out and they get split from the team, that Kayle is going to make Kha'Zix pretty much invulnerable for 2 or 3 seconds. Amazing. Stooping around the jungle, looking for a bear for lunch, and he finds Volibear and goes into a battle to the death. Volibear flings him back. However, Caruso looks like he's going to be just okay. JWoww doing his thing, split pushing. It's actually very important for Zed to split push, especially if you get behind. See, no one is fighting him, so he's going to be able to get free money.
I think perhaps you might have fallen behind when we had that pause there a little bit again, so you might need to jump to live. Yeah, that is always a bit of an issue with the system as it stands. Understandable, if a little irritating. We have got that poke going down in mid D-Man. Actually, Amazing getting spotted out there. Has been seen by both Caruso and Koi. They are potentially looking for this. Grulum has got that plant and throws it back at Zyra's face. Caruso going aggressive here. Has got the Q from Lee Sin on him though. And JWoww now getting poked out quite badly. Reckoning goes down. A lot of damage coming out. But neither side actually really getting a big advantage over the other one. We've actually got Brokey going very low. JWoww goes flashing into that damage and does actually manage to cut the kill on Ezreal, who is now going to be chased out. Caruso is flashing over the wall. D-Man now popping his ultimate, presumably just to get that unseen threat passive back up, and it is actually Peculiar Gaming that are definitely taking an advantage right now. Caruso going in for Grulum, does get the slowdown. The Ice Arrow whiffs there, but hits Kayle, and now they've got the CC train landing on Koi's face, but she's actually going to get out. Not going to be able to get out actually with her ult. Does have a perfectly timed Syndra Q just to finish her off.
Yeah, balls to you, Koi. Syndra 7-3-3. Hourglass, needlessly large rod, probably going to be building a death cap in the next few seconds. Maybe even a haunting, guys, would definitely be a good item for her. Grulum is definitely on fire. Nice amount of farm. Zed, he was still useful in that team fight, even though he's not picking up any kills. And Ezreal, he just caught out of position. He eat into a position to pick off a kill, I believe on Phalanx, and got just completely soloed by Amazing with a QRQ combo. That's very, very dangerous if Ezreal, especially when we're talking about how behind he was. He needs to try to stay behind and get as many assists and kills as possible from behind, not get himself killed. That's the last thing an AD carry wants to do.
Yeah, obviously less time alive is less time generating gold, and obviously AD carries have the most usage for that gold of any type of character. And in fact, Ashe has probably the most use of that gold for anyone, so she is actually now starting to get to a dangerous point where she's getting that... sorry, she's getting to that 3-item build. She's not there she is actually there quite now, and that is very, very dangerous. That's when AD carries start to really take off and honestly outdamage in the sustained environment almost any other type of character. Meanwhile, though, we have got looking around just with that Hulk shot. They have cleared the wards out here. Phylox has got the vision control over this. JWoww spotted out there by that ward, just going to take a Q to the face. And it looks like ESC don't know whether that dragon is being taken or not. They are going to go for this Karazo going forwards, and we've actually got the Q from Amazing landing here. The Ice Arrow goes down on Broki's face, and it looks like the stun from Grim to follow it up. He hasn't put down any damage, and Karazo is getting bursted down so hard here. He has been ulted. He is going to be pushed into the middle, and does actually get a bit of extra regen time from that ultimate, but Amazing is going to go down to Broki. He has picked up that 500 gold. Koi getting the damage down on Grim, but not quite enough to take him out. JWoww now getting aggressive. Broki going low. He's going to be trying to flash out. Does actually get the E over the wall, but it's not enough. And Ryman Simon is now being chased down by JWoww, and I don't think he has much hope for escape here. There is going to be a shadow coming up any second now. Gets that slow, gets that Q, and there's the kill.
Decent job by Broki. He was sitting in the back this time and picking up good kills. He got, I believe, 1 or 2 of the enemy team just by picking off amazing, dangerous positioning by him. He's not extremely tanky, so if he does get focused like that, he did actually go down in that team fight. However, good job kicking that Volibear back into the loving arms of Hammer. Hammer, you know, he's picking up a quite unusual build. Usually you see people go for Blade of the Ruined King into an IE. However, we talked about how the necessary things that they need right now is they need consistent damage. And Ashe with good attack speed and Last Whisper is just going to be able to plug multiple shots into their high HP champion. D-Man is just not able to get the resets. Seems like ESC are just really lacking good AoE damage to allow D-Man to just jump around like the cockroach he is. However, Broki ends up disconnecting, but there's the pause.
Yep, it seems we are having some issues today with just internet connections going down, and not really an ideal situation, although at the very moment he DC'd there, we're noticing that ward from Amazing going over the wall at Baron. And they're in that pit with that ward is 3 members of ESC, so I think Amazing may smell a bit of an Baron attempt here. Whether they actually go for it, though.
He definitely can't see it, but he can smell it.
Yes, close enough anyway. Well, like, he has detected there could well be a Baron attempt.
I think
here,
he's deduced. Sherlock Lee deduced that there is a Van Asher. I actually really like this. We saw this happen yesterday, I believe, against British Tea Time. ESC kind of grouped up the second the teamfight ended and just tried to rush this Nash. However, it seems that people are already making their way back and they just don't have the necessary damage. Broki is actually still in the base. Zyra on her way there. Kale? Yeah, Kale, Kha'Zix, and Volibear should do decent amount of damage, but there's no way they're going to take that Nash in less than... I expect it to take about 30-40 seconds before they actually kill the Nasher.
Yeah, the problem I feel that ESC are having at present in these teamfights is just that Volibear is their only really tanky character, and yes, he does have that Kale ult to keep him alive while he charges in, but he's getting focused down too much, and then it's just a kind of free reign for, you know, Zed to run amok in the back line of ESC with Amazing to follow that up on top of that. And they, although they are lacking in tanky people themselves, I mean, Lee Sin is quite tanky, but he's not massively tanky. Although they are having problems with that, they are very good at kiting people away, and much more so than ESC. Even with that Zyra, even with that Kale, like, it's just proving very difficult. And obviously, Bear getting deleted too quickly means that it's just happy hour in the backline of ESC.
Meanwhile, while the pause is going on, you guys can be sexy little kittens and go check out our Reddit thread, which people should be linking in chat right now. We could use all the support we can get. Give us feedback on the thread. This is going to be the last day of events of the Challenger Series for number 2. There will be one, of course, next week. Let's talk a little bit about the Challenger Series while we're in a pause here. It's a tournament for non-LCS teams, first off. It's something that I started up and partnered with Kaostv and, of course, you know, Spuddington Casting with Chaos to bring some content not only to the people and to let the teams have something to play while LCS is going on, because there's really not much going on for them right now.
Yeah, obviously it's quite difficult. And Dog, please don't come in when I'm casting. She is just being friendly, but is quite noisy about it. Let me just hold on to her tail so she doesn't make a terrible racket. But anyway, as I say, yeah, it's obviously a very nice tournament to get running. Damn it, Dog. So yeah, very nice tournament to get running. As I say, it's a obviously a setup that we're currently running in like a trial period. I believe we're going to be continuing it on for 8 weeks according to Best, something like that. Anyway, we obviously trial period if it obviously generates enough interest, if we get the community interested, and if the community basically says this is something we want, this is something we would like to see on a regular basis. I dare say you would not like to see my dog in the background, but if you basically decide that that's something you really want to do, obviously getting that support out there, getting those viewers, and obviously at the moment we have a great following here. We have a lot of people watching it. It's really, really nice to see you all. It's yeah, very, very nice to see you all here. Dog, damn it!
Silly little dog.
It's not a
looks like
little
Brokey
dog.
is back. We'll see an unpause coming in very shortly, and see how this Baron turns out for the
Yeah,
Team ESC, who
presumably.
are about 7k gold behind. So this is a very bad position for them right now.
Yeah, and once that's happened, you'll want to jump to live almost immediately. So anyway, we are underway here, and Brokey is back on that spawn pad. I am seeing a dark binding on that ward. It's gone away. That was weird.
Amazing, just trolling.
No, carry on. I was just talking about random graphical bugs.
Well, I don't know. Amazing is doing a very good job of defending that Nash. They obviously did not want to risk giving the Nash to them, and of course, snowballing the game even further away from them. Koi is actually quite strong right now. 309 AP, has the Nash's Tooth and the Rabadon's Death Cap. He is, however, very squishy, and I fear that he's just not getting the opportunity to auto-attack in teamfight. Zed, 4, 5, and 7, definitely back in the game. D-Man, 1, 4, and 1. It's a little bit disappointing to talk a lot of hype about the champion that he was so good at in the past tournaments, to see him, I want to say fail, but just not do as well as we're used to seeing.
Yeah, he did extremely well when he was up against British Tea Time. Obviously, was pretty much carrying that game, and we actually are now seeing Brokey. Oh boy, he is in a bit of a spot here. JWoww is coming down on him. Ult comes down. He is just going to follow that up. Blade of the Ruin King has been popped, and it looks like, yeah, there we go, explosion. And suddenly we have no Ezreal in this game, and JWoww has free reign to push this bottom lane out. It looks like Peculiar Gaming are definitely in control at the moment.
Zed is actually really good at split pushing, even though he doesn't have the opportunity to join a team. He's just able to one-shot people if they get too close to him. If they decide to try to invite him to dinner and he rejects them, he doesn't let them off lowly. He just one-shots them. And when you send someone squishy like Ezreal, maybe Volibear might survive the one-shot combo, but not an Ezreal. Especially not one that's not so fed as Brokey is right now.
Yeah, the other thing is, of course, that Volibear cannot survive that full combo from both JWoww and Grulum. They could potentially burst that out, and Syndra was hanging around over the wall. They weren't actually able to go for it in the end. Bear was a little bit too kind of antsy about going close, so they're going to clear this out. And Brokey did die, but it hasn't really cost them any objectives here. It was pretty much just Brokey losing out on a little bit of farming time. He has now picked up that Infinity Edge, but if you're comparing his build to Ashe, it's a pretty big difference.
He does have the Infinity Edge, so there might be a little bit more burst coming out. However, Last Whisper, BF Sword on Ashe. Yeah, definitely Hammer. We can see it. He's got about 3k gold up on this Ezreal. He's definitely a lot more powerful. That's about a Bloodthirster on top of Ezreal if they had the same item.
Yeah, there's also the fact that between the two of them, Ashe just has much better base attack speed scaling, and that's going to make him just flat out do more damage even without a steroid. So Brokey actually taking so much damage. Ashe arrow goes down, ultimate goes down from Kayle, keeping him alive, and it's actually Hammer going to be going down to that damage from, not going to be going down for quite a long time, to that damage from the Bear, but the Bear does not have the ultimate from Kayle to keep him alive. This time it was blown on Israel, who is obviously now dead, and now Koi is going to be chased down. Amazing, going to be trying to get away from this, going to be actually kicked away by Lee Sin. He might not get out.
Oh god, amazing. Nope, no chance of escaping.
I think you might be behind a little bit again, and now JWoww is just laughing at the tower's face and going to be pushing this down. Going to be an inhib at the least here.
That was just a little bit silly. I mean, Hammer going in for the big plays, trying to flash in. Ends up dying for that, but the cojones on him to do that, picking up the kill. And again, instead of just running and giving up hope, he got ulted by the Lulu at the very last moment and just kept auto-hitting. He actually survived with a decent amount of lifesteal for a good amount of time. And we see the GG well played coming out of Brokey,
Wow.
and there's the surrender vote. Everyone burning their summoners as usual, and that is good game. 3-1, Peculiar Gaming. A little bit of You
little
saw
bit
that,
of trash
right?
talk coming out there, but
No,
I'm
that's
sure
not
we can
cool.
we can debate that afterwards. So not particularly approved of. I assume it was tongue in cheek, but we will obviously have a little bit of discussion about that afterwards. Anyway, that is indeed taking it to 3-1. Peculiar Gaming coming out very, very strong here, defeating ESC quite handily overall. And I believe that's going to be all the games we have available for today. So we'll probably... okay, yeah. So if you are interested in showing your approval for whoever the... Sorry, if you are interested in showing your approval for whoever you felt was the MVP of this best of 5, I believe there will be instructions appearing in chat momentarily, and you can, in fact, vote for it.
Hey, Metis.
Hey, what's up?
How are you, Metas? We
You
are,
caught me
we
off
are
guard
still
there.
live. Were you just moved in randomly?
Yeah, just randomly moved in.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
Hello.
strange.
I had to move him in because he's got the MVP vote. So I wanted to drag him in so he can tell me who I need to open the vote for. So
Yeah, I'm a bit interested though. Was there some trash talking at the end there?
There was. It was, in fact, whoever was playing Ash, the Hummer. Yeah, he said GG too easy, with a number instead of the written 2, which isn't really behaviour I at least approve of. I don't know if we have an official stance on trash talk though, so I don't know if we can reasonably, critique him on that.
First up, Broken, is there going to be punishment, or is there going to be like...
Absolutely. We pretty much banned a team out of the tournament for having even a slightly racist comment, and I agree that might have been a little bit too much. I'm just kind of deciding right now. Might talk to boss a little bit about the punishment, but it's probably going to be a fine on the prize pool.
Yeah,
So
so
receive less money.
That's obviously not the best thing in the end for him. It's a bit of an unfortunate note to end it all on, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Not particularly a good result, but in the end, it's a good thing to get that game out of the way. Whether it was intended tongue or cheek or not, the basic problem is that if you say that's acceptable, then where do you draw the line? How do you judge what's offensive, what's stupid, what's terrible? But in the end, we are having our vote conducted in chat at the moment. So while that's going on, I would just like to draw your attention to me. Because, if you liked my casting, I do have several ways you can follow me. I do have a Facebook and I do have a Twitter, and I will type out the links in chat, although that's probably going to get buried very quickly, so I might post them several times. But anyway, facebook.com / I still can't say that, / Spuddingtoncasts, and I also have @Spuddington on Twitter. Broken Shot, do you have anything particular that you could be followed on?
Yeah, my Facebook. I've got facebook.com/brokenshardstream. I just like to make it known to all of you that I'm no longer representing Dragonborns or their sponsors. I am a free agent right now. So you can follow me also on my Twitter on www.twitter.com/brokenshardEUwest. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Right, so we also had on earlier Metas and Pulse. I don't think Pulse is around at the moment, so he has a Twitter which is @Pluzold, which I will post in a second, and he has a Facebook which I actually can't remember the name of, so I won't be posting that. But
Does
Metas.
does your dog have a Twitter account? People are asking.
My dog's Twitter account would consist of bark, bark, whack tail on door rather noisily. She is now on my bed, but yeah, that's my dog. So enjoy listening to dog noises.
I'm closing the
going with
poll.
this.
I'm closing the poll, by the way. Let's see. Joao got 14 votes and Amazing got 13 votes. And D-Man only 4 votes. So, Vince, elaborate.
I'm surprised that D-Man only got 4 votes. Like, the last game wasn't particularly brilliant from him, but if you take into account yesterday's performance and even the earlier games of today, his champion pool has been awesome. He's played a really good Kha'Zix, Kayle, Twisted Fate, and